Fire crews working non-stop, waging an all-out battle from the air and the ground as they brace for the worst of those punishing Santa Ana winds. The National Weather Service warning conditions to be as bad as it gets, with the potential for hurricane-force winds over the next 48 hours. 13 million are under red flag warnings, stretching north of Santa Barbara to San Diego County. With more than 8,000 firefighters now in the front lines, officials insist they're better prepared with more ground and air resources this time around.
Just behind us here, you can see a massive burn scar. There's no more smoke, no more fire, but there's still a danger. And that's why there are lines of firefighters right now with cutting tools like chainsaws and axes, clearing all the brush, making sure there's no fuel in case those winds pick up and carry embers.
We were with CAL FIRE as they worked to clear brush before those dangerous winds hit burn zones.
So you're worried about this area because there's still brush here and it's so close to those homes right there.
That's correct.
Firefighters lined up on cliffs, scaling canyons, and on the lookout.
They're putting their lives on the line to get out in front of something that most people wouldn't get in front of.
Over the weekend, California's National Guard dropping flame retardant on hot spots in the Palisades fire. After flare-ups forced new evacuations in Encino and Brentwood, triggering this eerie fire-nado. The Eaton and Palisades fire still mostly uncontained, with speculation on the origins of the infernos running rampant. The ATF now leading a newly formed task force to investigate the cause of the Palisades fire, as multiple law enforcement sources tell NBC News that a possible human cause is an early focus in this case.
They're identifying cause and origin for each of these separate fires. There's so many of them. None have been ruled out of arson.
The death toll has now reached 24 and expected to rise, including 95-year-old Delise Mama D. Curry of Altadena.
That was her refrigerator. This is where she would be.
Her granddaughter looking for her remains in what's left of her home.
Mama D, are you here?
Officials today urging residents to stay out of evacuation zones.
People are saying, I just want to go look at my house and I want to see what's left. We know that, but we have people literally looking for the remains of your neighbors.
Law enforcement in the region announcing more than 70 arrests, including looting and burglary charges. The FBI says unauthorized drones over the fire zones are now well into the double digits as they search for the drone pilot that crashed into a Canadian super scooper last week, grounding the aircraft for days. Today, the Los Angeles Unified School District reopened most of its 1,000 campuses, giving students some return to normalcy.
I've been pretty scared of coming here, but I feel as long as the doors are open, I feel safe.
Schools damaged by the fires or inside the evacuation zones remain closed, with tens of thousands pushed from their homes, now forced to start over. One estimate says the insured losses are already at least $30 billion.
Right now, I'm trying to just keep it together to find us a place to live for us, temporary living for our family and my parents.
Andrea Heindel lost her family home, as did her parents.
How tough is it?
It is tough. There's millions of people looking at millions of different places, and so we just have to figure out one step at a time how we're going to handle it.
And with the winds bringing the possibility of new fires and destruction just like this, some homeowners plan to take matters into their own hands. Once again, Gadi Schwartz tonight with their stories.
For days, so many across Los Angeles faced off against apocalyptic wildfires. Some homeowners defying the evacuation orders, choosing to protect their properties amid the hellscape.
We need a water drop. We need a water drop.
Sprinklers, hoses, generators, pumps, and tonight facing new red flag warnings, some Angelenos say they are preparing for round two. In wealthy enclaves, rows of water trucks and private firefighters standing at the ready.
And right here we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different water trucks. There's another 3 down the way.
Those in the evacuation zones who lived to tell the tale of how they saved their streets say they did what they could with high-pressured hoses.
So we were in all of our neighbors' backyards and lugging our hoses around.
In Altadena, Felipe Carrillo saving 2 houses on his street with a garden hose.
I caught on fire a couple of times.
You caught on fire?
Yes, and so what I started doing is every once in a while I would just spray myself with the garden hose. Just soak myself with the garden hose and continue to fight.
Fire officials say those who stay to fight the fire are putting their lives at risk. 66-year-old Victor Shaw died in the Eaton fire. His remains found holding a garden hose. Right along the coast, owners of this row of homes had their own fire hoses ready and some willing to risk their lives.
There's another hot spot that just started up. So we're hooking up our fire hoses again to put it down before the wind starts again.
When the fire rolled in, Clayton Colbert and his friends stood their ground, tapping into the hydrant and saving 6 homes.
Do you have any firefighting experience? I mean,
I do now.
Yeah. What do you think would have happened if you and your neighbors weren't here?
Oh, my house would have been gone in a matter of minutes.
Tonight, Steve Foster's home is still standing, but most of the surrounding community is gone.
It's been difficult, but we're getting through it.
Would you leave?
I'm not leaving. I've been here the whole time. I have no intentions of leaving until my neighbors are back.
And Tom, technically, it's a misdemeanor not to evacuate during the chaos, but it's not always enforced. However, firefighters say, bottom line, every moment during a firefight is precious. And if they have to be pulled off of a fire line to come save someone that is not supposed to be there, it not only jeopardizes their lives, but puts the whole community at risk. Tom?
Gadi Schwartz tonight for us in Malibu. Gadi, we thank you for that. And for those who have lost everything, another crisis has quickly emerged. Where will they find a new place to live? Here's Morgan Chesky.
We're going to find a house, I promise. I promise we'll find a house.
A promise for a new home. Ashley and Tim Palmatier are now fighting to keep amid a disaster that's ignited a citywide housing crisis. The family of 5, 6, including their pup Apollo, one of dozens, packing an open house. After watching flames approach, then engulf their beloved Palisades home.
Wednesday afternoon, we saw footage that our entire neighborhood had burned down.
With more than 12,000 structures destroyed and potentially more to come, the demand for LA's rental market exploding overnight.
You call and you're like, hey, can I come see it? And they're like, nope, it's rented. You call another one. Hey, can I come see it today? Nope, it's rented already. So
Ashley says she's looked into 50 properties over the last several days.
In some cases, people driving hours just to find a home.
Yes, yes.
LA realtor Tanya Stosky says fewer options are already leading to price gouging.
We have greedy landlords who are spiking up the prices, and we also have a bidding war as well.
A check on Zillow for one property near the Palisades 3 days after the fires began shows rent jumping $10,000. It's since been removed, but officials warn price surges are growing. The governor declared a state of emergency last week, which means any price hike over 10% on essential goods, including rental housing, is illegal under California law.
Price gouging is sick, it's wrong, it's illegal. These scams taking advantage of victims and re-victimizing them.
They say if you see or are a victim of price gouging, report it immediately to local law enforcement or state authorities.
Then we'll find another one. We'll just keep looking.
For the Palmatiers, it's not just about getting a place to live. They've also got to get their kids back in the classroom after their schools burned to the ground.
Open the door. Wow. How are y'all staying sane amidst all this?
Just taking it one step at a time. Our friends have been amazing. Our community across the country has been amazing.
And Morgan joins us live tonight from a Palisades elementary school that once stood there. Morgan, what's the plan for those students now?
Yeah, Tom, tonight parents are giving all the credit to school officials who just days after losing this entire school have already made plans for the student body to be absorbed into another LA school where classes are hoping to resume this Wednesday. Tom?
All right, Morgan, we thank you for that. The next round of high winds is nearly upon us. Al Roker tonight tracking it all. And Al, millions are under red flag warnings again tonight. Tell us what it all means.
All right. Well, Tom, we're talking about 13 million people from San Luis Obispo down to Campo. Gusting winds of up to 70 miles per hour. Humidity levels are dropping. A particularly dangerous situation. Pyramid Lake, San Fernando, Camarillo. And this is unfortunately due to climate change. In the last 36 years, the conditions are 9 degrees warmer, 15% drier, 20% windier. And right now, the winds are fairly calm, but they are starting to pick up within the next few hours. They will be at hurricane force, and that is going to limit the ability to bring some sort of air support in there. And as you can see, for tomorrow, there is a critical risk from Santa Clarita to Los Angeles all the way down to Escondido. So we're going to continue to track this, have the latest tomorrow morning, Tom.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.